Yovalim Jubilees 21. And in the 6th year of the 7th week of this Jubilee, Abraham called Yitzchak his son and commanded him, saying, I am become old, and know not the day of my death, and am full of my days. And behold, I am 175 years old, and throughout all the days of my life I have remembered Yahuwah, and sought with all my heart to do his will, and to walk uprightly in all his ways. My soul has hated idols, given my heart and ruach, that I might observe to do the will of him who created me. For he is the living Elohim, and he is holy and faithful, and he is righteous beyond all. And there is with him no accepting of men's persons, and no accepting of gifts. For Elohim is righteous, and executes judgment on all those who transgress his commandments, and despise his covenant. And do you, my son, observe his commandments, and his ordinances, and his judgments, and walk not after the abominations, and after graven images, and after the molten images, and eat no blood at all of animals or cattle, or of any bird which flies in the heaven. And if you do slay a victim as an acceptable peace offering, slay ye it, and pour out its blood upon the altar. And all the fat of the offering offer on the altar with fine flour, and the meat offering mingled with oil, with its drink offering, offer them all together on the altar of burnt offering. It is a sweet savor before Yahuwah. And you will offer the fat of the sacrifice of thank offerings on the fire which is upon the altar, and the fat which is on the belly, and all the fat on the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and all the fat that is upon them, and upon the loins and liver you shall remove, together with the kidneys. And offer all these for a sweet savor acceptable before Yahuwah, with its meat offering and with its drink offering, for a sweet savor, the bread of the offering unto Yahuwah. And eat its meat on that day and on the second, and let not the sun on the second day go down upon it till it is eaten. And let nothing be left over for the 3rd day, for it is not acceptable, for it is not approved. And let it no longer be eaten. And all who eat thereof will bring sin upon themselves. For thus I have found it written in the Sepharim of my forefathers. And in the words of Enoch, and in the words of Noah, and on all your oblations you shall strew salt. And let not the salt of the covenant be lacking in all your oblations before Yahuwah. And as regards to the wood of the sacrifices, beware lest you bring other wood for the altar, in addition to these: cypress, bay, almond, fir, pine, cedar, savin, fig, olive, myrrh, laurel, aspalathus. And of these kinds of wood lay upon the altar under the sacrifice, such as have been tested as to their appearance. And do not lay thereon any split or dark wood, but hard and clean, without fault, a sound and new growth. And do not lay thereon old wood, for its fragrance is gone, for there is no longer fragrance in it as before. Besides these kinds of wood, there is none other that you should place on the altar, for the fragrance is dispersed, and the smell of its fragrance goes not up to heaven. Observe this commandment and do it, my son, that you may be upright in all your deeds, and at all times be clean in your body. And wash yourself with water before you approach to offer on the altar. And wash your hands and your feet before you draw near to the altar. And when you are done sacrificing, wash again your hands and your feet. And let no blood appear upon you, nor upon your clothes. Be on your guard, my son, against blood. Be on your guard exceedingly. Cover it with dust. Do not eat any blood, for it is the soul. Eat no blood whatsoever. And take no gifts for the blood of man, lest it should be shed with impunity, without judgment. For it is the blood that is shed that causes the earth to sin, and the earth cannot be cleansed from the blood of man, save by the blood of him who shed it. And take no present or gift for the blood of man, blood for blood, that you may be accepted before Yahuwah El Elyon. For he is the defense of the good, and that you may be preserved from all evil, that he may save you from every kind of death. I see, my son, that all the works of the children of men are sin and wickedness, and all their deeds are uncleanness and an abomination and a pollution, and there is no righteousness with them. Beware, lest you should walk in their ways and tread in their paths and sin a sin unto death before El Elyon. Else he will hide his face from you and give you back into the hands of your transgression, and root you out of the land, and your seed likewise from under heaven, and your name and your seed shall perish from the whole earth. Turn away from all their deeds and all their uncleanness, and observe the ordinance of El Elyon. Do his will, and be upright in all things. And he will bless you in all your deeds, and will raise up from you a plant of righteousness through all the earth, throughout all generations of the earth. And my name and your name shall not be forgotten under heaven forever. Go, my son, in peace. May El Elyon, my Elohim, and your Elohim strengthen you to do his will, and may he bless all your seed and the remnant of your seed for the generations forever, with all righteous blessings, that ye may be a blessing on all the earth. And he went out from him rejoicing. Jubilees 22. And it came to pass in the first week, in the 44th Jubilee, in the second year, that is, the year in which Abraham died, that Yitzchak and Ishmael came from the well of the oath to celebrate the feast of Shavuot, that is, the feast of the first fruits of the harvest, to Abraham, their father. And Abraham rejoiced because his two sons had come. For Yitzchak had many possessions in Be'er Shiva, and Yitzchak was wont to go and see his possessions and to return to his father. And in those days Ishmael came to see his father, and they both came together. And Yitzchak offered a sacrifice for a burnt offering, and presented it on the altar of his father, which he had made in Kevran. And he offered a thank offering, and made a feast of joy before Ishmael, his brother. And Rivkah made new cakes from the new grain, and gave them to Yaakov, her son, to take them to Abraham, his father, from the first fruits of the land, that he might eat and bless the Creator of all things before he died. And Yitzchak too sent by the hand of Yaakov to Abraham a best thank offering, that he might eat and drink. And he ate and drank and blessed El Elyon, who has created heaven and earth, who has made all the fat things of the earth, and given them to the children of men, that they might eat and drink and bless their Creator. And now I give thanks unto you, my Elohim, because you have caused me to see this day. Behold, I am 163 years, and old man, and full of days, and all my days have been unto me peace. The sword of the adversary has not overcome me in all that you have given me and my children all the days of my life until this day. My Elohim, may your mercy and your peace be upon your servant and upon the seed of his sons, that they may be to you a chosen nation and an inheritance from amongst all the nations of the earth, from henceforth unto all the days of the generations of the earth, unto all the ages. And he called Yaakov and said, My son Yaakov, may the Elohim of all bless you and strengthen you to do righteousness and his will before him. And may he choose you and your seed, that ye may become a people for his inheritance, according to his will always. And do you, my son Yaakov, draw near and kiss me. And he drew near and kissed him, and he said, Blessed be my son Yaakov, and all the sons of El Elyon unto all the ages. May Elohim give unto you a seed of righteousness, and some of your sons may he sanctify in the midst of the whole earth. May nations serve you, and all the nations bow themselves before your seed. Be strong in the presence of men, and exercise authority over all the seed of Shet. Then your ways and the ways of your sons will be justified, so that they shall become a holy nation. May El Elyon give you all the blessings wherewith he has blessed me, and wherewith he blessed Noach and Adam. May they rest on the sacred head of your seed, from generation to generation, forever. And may he cleanse you from all unrighteousness and impurity, that you may be forgiven all the transgressions which you have committed ignorantly. And may he strengthen you and bless you. And may you inherit the whole earth. And may he renew his covenant with you, that you may be to him a nation for his inheritance for all the ages, and that he may be to you and to your seed an Elohim in truth and righteousness throughout all the days of the earth. And do you, my son Yaakov, remember my words, and observe the commandments of Abraham, your father. Separate yourself from the nations, and eat not with them, and do not according to their works, and become not their associate. For their works are unclean, and all their ways are pollution and an abomination and uncleanness. They offer their sacrifices to the dead, and they worship evil Ruachat. They eat over the graves, and all their works are vanity and nothingness. They have no heart to understand, and their eyes do not see what their works are, and how they err in saying to a piece of wood, "You are my Elohim," and to a stone, "You are my Adonai, and you are my deliverer." And they have no heart. And as for you, my son Yaakov, may El Elyon help you, and the Elohim of heaven bless you, and remove you from their uncleanness and from all their error. Be you ware, my son Yaakov, of taking a woman from any seed of the daughters of Canaan, for all his seed is to be rooted out of the earth. For owing to the transgression of Canaan erred, and all his seed shall be destroyed from off the earth, and all the remnant thereof, and none springing from him shall be saved on the day of judgment. And as for all the worshippers of idols and the profane, there shall be no hope for them in the land of the living, and there shall be no remembrance of them on the earth, for they shall descend into Sheol, and into the place of condemnation shall they go. As the children of Chedam were taken away from the earth, so will all those who worship idols be taken away. Fear not, my son Yaakov, and be not dismayed, O son of Avraham. May El Elyon guard you from destruction, and from all the paths of error may he deliver you. This house have I built for myself, that I might put my name upon it in the earth. It is given to you and to your seed forever, and it will be named the house of Avraham. It is given to you and to your seed forever. For you will build my house and establish my name before Elohim forever. Your seed and your name will stand throughout all generations of the earth. And he ceased commanding him and blessing him, and the two lay together on one bed, and Yaakov slept in the bosom of Avraham, his father's father, and he kissed him 7 times, and his affection and his heart rejoiced over him. And he blessed him with all his heart and said, El Elyon, the Elohim of all, and creator of all, who brought me forth from Ur of the Kasdim, that he might give me this land to inherit it forever, and that I might establish a holy seed. Blessed be El Elyon forever. And he blessed Yaakov and said, My son, over whom with all my heart and my affection I rejoice, may your grace and your mercy be lifted up upon him and upon his seed always. And do not forsake him, nor set him at naught from henceforth unto the days of eternity. And may your eyes be opened upon him and upon his seed, that you may guard him and bless him, and may sanctify him as a nation for your inheritance, and bless him with all your blessings from henceforth unto all the days of eternity. and renew your covenant and your grace with him and with his seed, according to all your good pleasure, unto all the generations of the earth. Jubilees 23. And he placed 2 fingers of Yaakov on his eyes, and he blessed the Elohim of Elohim. And he covered his face and stretched out his feet and slept the sleep of eternity, and was gathered to his fathers. And notwithstanding all this, Yaakov was lying in his bosom, and knew not that Abraham, his father's father, was dead. And Yaakov awoke from his sleep, and behold, Abraham was cold as ice. And he said, Father, Father! But there was none that spoke, and he knew that he was dead. And he arose from his bosom and ran and told Rivkah, his mother. And Rivkah went to Yitzchak in the night and told him. They went together, and Yaakov with them, and a lamp was in his hand. And when they had gone in, they found Abraham lying dead. And Yitzchak fell on his face, and Yitzchak fell on the face of his father, and wept and kissed him. And the voices were heard in the house of Abraham, and Ishmael his son arose, and went to Abraham his father, and wept over Abraham his father, he and all the house of Abraham, and they wept with a great weeping. And his sons Yitzchak and Ishmael buried him in the double cave near Sarah his woman. They wept for him 40 days. All the men of his house, and Yitzchak and Ishmael, and all their sons, and all the sons of Keturah in their places. And the days of weeping for Abraham were ended. And he lived 3 jubilees and 4 weeks of years, 175 years, and completed the days of his life, being old and full of many days. For the days of the forefathers of their life were 19 jubilees, and after the flood they began to grow less than 19 jubilees, and to decrease in jubilees, and to grow old quickly, and to be full of their days by reason of a manifold tribulation and the wickedness of their ways, with the exception of Abraham. For Abraham was perfect in all his deeds with Yahuwah, and well-pleasing in righteousness all the days of his life. Behold, he did not complete 4 jubilees in his life, when he had grown old, by reason of the wickedness, and was full of his days. All the generations which shall arise from this time until the day of the great judgment shall grow old quickly, before they complete 2 jubilees, and their knowledge shall forsake them by reason of their old age, and all their knowledge shall vanish. And in those days, if a man live a jubilee and a half of years, they shall say regarding him, he has lived long, and the greater part of his days are pain and sorrow and tribulation, and there is no peace. For calamity follows on calamity, and wound on wound, and tribulation on tribulation, and evil report on evil report, and illness on illness, and all evil judgments such as these, one with another, illness and overthrow, and snow and frost and ice and fever and chills and torpor and famine and death and sword and captivity and all kinds of calamities and pains. And all these shall come on an evil generation, which transgresses on the earth. Their works are uncleanness and fornication and pollution and abominations. Then they shall say, the days of the forefathers were many, even unto 1,000 years, and were good. But, behold, the days of our life, if a man has lived many, are 80 years and 10. And if he is strong, 80 years. And those evil, and there is no peace in the days of this evil generation. And in that generation the sons shall convict their fathers and their elders of sin and unrighteousness, and of the words of their mouth, and the great wickedness which they perpetrate, and concerning their forsaking the covenant which Yahuwah made between them and him, that they should observe and do all his commandments and his ordinances and all his Torah, without departing either to the right hand or to the left. For all have done evil, and every mouth speaks iniquity, and all their works are an uncleanness and an abomination, and all their ways are pollution, uncleanness, and destruction. Behold, the earth shall be destroyed on account of all their works, and there shall be no seed of the vine, and no oil, for their works are altogether faithless, and they shall all perish together, beasts and cattle and birds, and all the fish of the sea, on account of the children of men. And they shall strive one with another, the young with the old with the young, the poor with the rich, the lowly with the great, and the beggar with the prince, on account of the Torah and the covenant. For they have forgotten commandment and covenant and feasts and months and Shabbatot and jubilees and all judgments. And they shall stand and they shall stand swords and war to turn them back into the way. But they shall not return until much blood has been shed on the earth, one by another. And those who have escaped shall not return from their wickedness to the way of righteousness, but they shall all exalt themselves to deceit and wealth, that they may each take all that is his neighbor's. They shall name the great name, but not in truth, and not in righteousness. They shall defile the Holy of Holies with their uncleanness and the corruption of their pollution. And a great punishment shall befall the deeds of this generation from Yahuwah, and he will give them over to the sword, and to judgment, and to captivity, and to be plundered and devoured. And he will wake up against them the sinners of the other nations, who shall neither mercy nor compassion, and who shall respect the person of none, neither old nor young, nor anyone. For they are more wicked and strong to do evil than all the children of men. And they shall use violence against Yashara'el, and transgression against Yaakov, and much blood shall be shed upon the earth. And there shall be none to gather and none to bury. In those days they shall cry aloud, and call and pray, that they may be saved from the hand of sinners, the other nations, but none shall be saved. And the heads of the children shall be white with gray hair, and a child of 3 weeks shall appear old like a man of 100 years. And their stature shall be destroyed by tribulation and oppression. And in those days the children shall begin to study the Torah, and to seek the commandments, and to return to the path of righteousness. And the days shall begin to grow many and increase amongst those children of men, till their days draw nigh to 1,000 years, and to a greater number of years than before was the number of the days. There shall be no old man, nor one who is satisfied with his days. For all shall be as children and youths. And all their days they shall complete and live in peace and in joy. And there shall be no Satan, nor any evil destroyer, for all their days shall be days of blessing and healing. And at that time Yahuwah will heal his servants, and they shall rise up and see great peace, and drive out their adversaries. And the righteous shall see and be thankful, and rejoice with joy forever and ever, and shall see all their judgments and all their curses on their enemies. And their bones shall rest in the earth, and their ruachot shall have much joy. They shall know that it is Yahuwah who executes judgment, and shows mercy to hundreds and thousands, and to all that love him. And do you, Moshe, write down these words, for thus are they written, and they record them on the heavenly tablets for a testimony for the generations forever. Yovelim, Jubilees 24. And it came to pass after the death of Avraham that Yahuwah blessed Yitzchak his son. And he arose from Kevran and went and dwelt at the well of the vision in the first year of the 3rd week of this Jubilee, 7 years. And in the first year of the 4th week, a famine began in the land, besides the first famine, which had been in the days of Avraham. And Yaakov sowed lentil pottage, and Esau came from the field hungry. And he said to Yaakov his brother, "Give me of this red pottage." And Yaakov said to him, "Sell to me your primogentir, this birthright, and I will give you bread, and also some of this lentil pottage." And Esau said in his heart, I shall die of what profit to me is this birthright? And he said to Yaakov, "I give it to you." And Yaakov said, "Swear to me this day." And he swore unto him. And Yaakov gave his brother Esau bread and pottage, and he ate till he was satisfied, and Esau despised his birthright. For this reason was Esau's name called Edom, on account of the red pottage which Yaakov gave him for his birthright. And Yaakov became the elder, and Esau was brought down from his dignity. And the famine was over the land, and Yitzchak departed to go down into Mitzrayim in the 2nd year of this week, and went to the king of the Pelishtim, to Gerar, unto Avimelech. And Yahuwah appeared unto him and said unto him, Go not down into Mitzrayim. Dwell in the land that I shall tell you of, and sojourn in this land. And I will be with you and bless you. For to you and to your seed will I give all this land, and I will establish my oath, which I swore unto Abraham your father. And I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and will give unto your seed all this land. And in your seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because your father obeyed my voice, and kept my charge, and my commandments, and my Torah, and my ordinances, and my covenant. And now obey my voice, and dwell in this land. And he dwelt in Gerar 3 weeks of years. And Abimelech charged concerning him, and concerning all that was his, saying, Any man that shall touch him, or anything that is his, shall surely die. And Yitzchak waxed strong among the Pelishtim. And he got many possessions, oxen and sheep and camels and asses and a great household. And he sowed in the land of the Pelishtim, and brought in 100-fold. And Yitzchak became exceedingly great, and the Pelishtim envied him. Now all the wells which the servants of Abraham had dug during the life of Abraham, the Pelishtim had stopped them after the death of Abraham, and filled them with earth. And Abimelech said unto Yitzchak, Go from us, for you are much mightier than we. And Yitzchak departed thence in the 1st year of the 7th week, and sojourned in the valley of Gerar. And they dug again the wells of water which the servants of Abraham his father had dug, and which the Pelishtim had closed after the death of Abraham his father. And he called their names as Abraham his father had named them. And the servants of Yitzchak dug a well in the valley, and found living water. The shepherds of Gerar strove with the shepherds of Yitzchak, saying, The water is ours. Yitzchak called the name of the well Perversity, because they had been perverse with us. And they dug a second well. They strove for that also. He called its name Enmity. And he arose from thence, and they dug another well, and for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Room. And Yitzchak said, Now Yahuwah has made room for us, and we have increased in the land. And he went up from thence to the well of the oath in the 1st year of the 1st week, in the 44th Jubilee. And Yahuwah appeared to him that night on the new moon of the 1st month, and said unto him, I am the Elohim of Abraham your father. Fear not, for I am with you, and shall bless you, and shall surely multiply your seed as the sand of the earth, for the sake of Abraham my servant. And he built an altar there, which Abraham his father had first built, and he called upon the name of Yahuwah, and he offered sacrifice to the Elohim of Abraham his father. And they dug a well, and they found living water. And the servants of Yitzchak dug another well, and did not find water. And they went and told Yitzchak that they had not found water. And Yitzchak said, I have sworn this day to the Pelishtim, and this thing has been announced to us. And he called the name of that place the Well of the Oath, for there he had sworn to Abimelech and Akuzat his friend, and Pikal, the perfect Or, his host. And Yitzchak knew that day that under constraint he had sworn to them to make peace with them. And Yitzchak on that day cursed the Pelashitim, and said, "Cursed be the Pelashitim unto the day of wrath and indignation from the midst of all nations. May Elohim make them a derision and a curse and an object of wrath and indignation in the hands of the sinners, the other nations, and in the hands of the Kittim. And whosoever escapes the sword of the enemy and the Kittim, may the righteous nation root out in judgment from under heaven. For they shall be the enemies and foes of my children throughout their generations upon the earth, and no remnant shall be left to them, nor one that shall be saved on the day of the wrath of judgment. For destruction and rooting out and expulsion from the earth is the whole seed of the Pelashitim, reserved. And there shall no longer be left for these Kaphtarim a name or a seed on the earth. For though he ascend unto heaven, thence shall he be brought down. Though he make himself strong on earth, thence shall he be dragged forth. Though he hide himself amongst the nations, even from thence shall he be rooted out. And though he descend into Sheol, there also shall his condemnation be great. And there also he shall have no peace. And if he go into captivity by the hands of those that seek his life, shall they slay him on the way. And neither name nor seed shall be left to him on all the earth. For into eternal malediction shall he depart. And thus it is written and engraved concerning him on the heavenly tablets, to do unto him on the day of judgment, so that he may be rooted out of the earth. Yovelim Jubilees 25. And in the second year of this week, in this Jubilee, Rivkah called Yaakov her son, and spoke unto him, saying, My son, do not take you a woman of the daughters of Canaan, as Esau your brother, who took him 2 women of the daughters of Canaan. And they have embittered my soul with all their unclean deeds. For all their deeds are fornication and lust, and there is no righteousness with them, for their deeds are evil. And I, my son, love you exceedingly, and my heart and my affection bless you every hour of the day and watch of the night. And now, my son, hearken to my voice, and do the will of your mother, and do not take you a woman of the daughters of this land, but only of the house of my father, and of my father's kindred. You shall take you a woman of the house of my father, and El Elyon will bless you, and your children shall be a righteous generation and a holy seed. And then spoke Yaakov to Rivkah, his mother, and said unto her, Behold, mother, I am 9 weeks of years old, and I neither know nor have I touched any woman, nor have I betrothed myself to any, nor even think of taking me a woman of the daughters of Canaan. For I remember, mother, the words of Abraham, our father, for he commanded me not to take a woman of the daughters of Canaan, but to take me a woman from the seed of my father's house, and from my kindred. I have heard before that daughters have been born to Laban, your brother, and I have set my heart on them to take a woman from amongst them. And for this reason I have guarded myself in my ruach against sinning or being corrupted in all my ways throughout all the days of my life. For with regard to lust and fornication, Abraham, my father, gave me many commands. And despite all that he has commanded me, these 22 years, my brother has striven with me and spoken frequently to me and said, My brother, take to be your woman a sister of my 2 women. But I refuse to do as he has done. I swear before you, mother, that all the days of my life I will not take me a woman from the daughters of the seed of Canaan, and I will not act wickedly as my brother has done. Fear not, mother. Be assured that I shall do your will and walk in uprightness and not corrupt my ways forever. And thereupon she lifted up her face to heaven and extended the fingers of her hands and opened her mouth and blessed El Elyon, who had created the heavens and the earth. And she gave him thanks and praise. And she said, Blessed be Yahuwah Elohim, and may his holy name be blessed forever and ever. Who has given me Yaakov as a pure son and a holy seed, for he is yours, and yours shall his seed be continually, and throughout all the generations forevermore. Bless him, O Yahuwah. Place in my mouth the blessing of righteousness, that I may bless him. And at that hour, when the Ruach Tzedakah descended into her mouth, she placed both her hands on the head of Yaakov and said, Blessed are you, Yahuwah, of righteousness, and Elohim of the ages, and may he bless you beyond all the generations of men. May he give you, my son, the path of righteousness, and reveal righteousness to your seed. And may he make your sons many during your life, and may they arise according to the number of the months of the year. And may their sons become many, and great beyond the stars of heaven, and their numbers be more than the sand of the sea. And may he give them this goodly land, as he said he would give it, to Abraham, and to his seed after him, always. And may they hold it as a possession forever. And may I see born unto you, my son, blessed children during my life, and a blessed and holy seed may all your seed be. And as you have refreshed your mother's Ruach during her life, the womb of her that bore you blesses you thus. My affection and my breasts bless you, and my mouth and my tongue praise you greatly. Increase and spread over the earth. May your seed be perfect in the joy of heaven and earth forever. And may your seed rejoice. And on the great day of peace, may it have peace. And may your name and your seed endure to all the ages. And may El Elyon be their Elohim. And may the Elohim of righteousness tabernacle with them. And by them may his sanctuary be built unto all the ages. Blessed be he that blesses you, and all flesh that curses you falsely, may it be cursed. And she kissed him and said to him, May Yahuwah of the world love you as the heart of your mother, and her affection rejoice in you and bless you. And she ceased from blessing. Yovelim, Jubilees 26. And in the 7th year of this week, Yitzchak called Esau, his elder son, and said unto him, I am old, my son, and behold, my eyes are dim in seeing, and I know not the day of my death. And now take your hunting weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the field, and hunt and catch me venison, my son, and make me savory meat, such as my soul loves, and bring it to me that I may eat, and that my soul may bless you before I die. But Rivkah heard Yitzchak speaking to Esau, and Esau went forth early to the field, to hunt and catch and bring home to his father. And Rivkah called Yaakov her son, and said unto him, Behold, I heard Yitzchak your father speak unto Esau your brother, saying, Hunt for me, and make me savory meat, and bring it to me, that I may eat and bless you before Yahuwah, before I die. And now, my son, obey my voice in that which I command you. Go to your flock, and fetch me 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for your father, such as he loves. And you shall bring it to your father, that he may eat and bless you before Yahuwah, before he die, and that you may be blessed. And Yaakov said to Rivkah his mother, Mother, I shall not withhold anything which my father would eat, and which would please him. Only I fear, my mother, that he will recognize my voice and wish to touch me. And you know that I am smooth, and Esau my brother is hairy, and I shall appear before his eyes as an evildoer, and shall do a deed which he had not commanded me, and he will be wroth with me. And I shall bring upon myself a curse, and not a blessing. And Rivkah, his mother, said unto him, Upon me be your curse, my son, only obey my voice. And Yaakov obeyed the voice of Rivkah his mother, and went and fetched 2 good and fat kids of the goats, and brought them to his mother, and his mother made them savory meat, such as he loved. And Rivkah took the goodly raiment of Esau, her elder son, which was with her in the house, and she clothed Yaakov, her younger son, with them. And she put the skins of the kids upon his hands, and on the exposed parts of his neck. She gave the meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Yaakov. And Yaakov went in to his father and said, I am your son. I have done according as you bade me. Arise and sit, and eat of that which I have caught, Father, that your soul may bless me. And Yitzchak said to his son, How have you found so quickly, my son? And Yaakov said, Because Yahuwah Eloheka caused me to find. And Yitzchak said unto him, Come near, that I may feel you, my son, if you are my son Esau or not. And Yaakov went near to Yitzchak, his father, and he felt him and said, The voice is Yaakov's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because it was a dispensation from heaven to remove his power of perception. And Yitzchak discerned not, for his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's, so that he blessed him. And he said, Are you my son Esau? And he said, I am your son. And he said, Bring near to me, that I may eat of that which you have caught, my son, that my soul may bless you. And he brought near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And Yitzchak his father said unto him, Come near and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and he blessed him and said, Behold, the smell of my son is as the smell of a full field which Yahuwah has blessed. And May Yahuwah give you of the dew of heaven and of the dew of the earth, and plenty of grain and oil. Let nations serve you, and peoples bow down to you. Be Lord over your brethren. Let your mother's sons bow down to you. And may all the blessings wherewith Yahuwah has blessed me and blessed Abraham, my father, be imparted to you and to your seed forever. Cursed be he that curses you, and blessed be he that blesses you. And it came to pass, as soon as Yitzchak had made an end of blessing his son Yaakov, and Yaakov had gone forth from Yitzchak his father, he hid himself, and Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also made savory meat, and brought it to his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise, and eat of my venison, that your soul may bless me. And Yitzchak his father said unto him, Who are you? And he said unto him, I am your firstborn, your son Esau. I have done as you have commanded me. And Yitzchak was very greatly astonished, and said, Who is he that has hunted and caught and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before you came, and have blessed him. And he said, and he shall be blessed, and all his seed forever. And it came to pass, when Esau heard the words of his father Yitzchak, that he cried with an exceeding great and bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, father. And he said unto him, Your brother came with guile, and has taken away your blessing. And he said, Now I know why his name is named Yaakov. Behold, he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now he's taken away my blessing. And he said, Have you not reserved a blessing for me, father? And Yitzchak answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him your lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with plenty of grain and wine and oil have I strengthened him. And what now shall I do for you, my son? And Esau said to Yitzchak his father, Have you but one blessing, O father? Bless me, even me also, father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Yitzchak answered and said unto him, Behold, far from the dew of the earth shall be your dwelling, and far from the dew of heaven from above. And by your sword will you live, and you will serve your brother. And it shall come to pass, when you become great, and do shake his yoke from off your neck, you shall sin a complete sin unto death, and your seed shall be rooted out from under heaven. And Esau kept threatening Yaakov because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And he said in his heart, May the days of mourning for my father now come, so that I may slay my brother Yaakov. Yovelim, Jubilees 27. And the words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rivkah in a dream. And Rivkah sent and called Yaakov, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, Esau your brother will take vengeance on you so as to kill you. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise and flee you to Lavan, my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days until your brother's anger turns away, and he remove his anger from you, and forget all that you have done. Then I will send and fetch you from thence. And Yaakov said, I am not afraid. If he wishes to kill me, I will kill him. But she said unto him, Let me not be bereft of both my sons on one day. And Yaakov said to Rivkah his mother, Behold, you know that my father has become old, and does not see because his eyes are dull. And if I leave him, it will be evil in his eyes, because I leave him and go away from you. And my father will be angry and will curse me. I will not go. When he sends me, then only will I go." And Rivkah said to Yaakov, "I will go in and speak to him, and he will send you away." And Rivkah went in and said to Yitzchak, "I loathe my life because of the 2 daughters of Chet, whom Esau has taken him as women. And if Yaakov take a woman from among the daughters of the land such as these, for what purpose do I further live? For the daughters of Canaan are evil." And Yitzchak called Yaakov and blessed him, and admonished him, and said unto him, "Do not take you a woman of any of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, and go to Aram Naharaim, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take you a woman from thence of the daughters of Lavan, your mother's brother. And El Shaddai bless you, and increase and multiply you, that you may become a company of nations, and give you the blessings of my father Abraham, to you and to your seed after you, that you may inherit the land of your sojournings, and all the land which Elohim gave to Abraham. Go, my son, in peace." And Yitzchak sent Yaakov away, and he went to Aram Naharaim, to Lavan, the son of Bethuel, the Arami, the brother of Rivkah, Yaakov's mother. And it came to pass, after Yaakov had arisen to go to Aram Naharaim, that the ruach of Rivkah was grieved after her son, and she wept. And Yitzchak said to Rivkah, "My sister, weep not on account of Yaakov, my son, for he goes in peace, and in peace will he return. El Elyon will guard him from all evil, and will be with him, for he will not forsake him all his days. For I know that his ways will be prospered in all things wherever he goes, until he return in peace to us, and we see him in peace. Fear not on his account, my sister, for he is on the upright path, and he is a perfect man, and he is faithful and will not perish. Weep not." And Yitzchak comforted Rivkah on account of her son Yaakov, and blessed him. And Yaakov went from the well of the oath to go to Haran on the 1st year of the 2nd week in the 44th Jubilee. And he came to Luz on the mountains, that is Beit El, on the new moon of the 1st month of this week. And he came to the place at evening and turned from the way to the west of the road that night. And he slept there, for the sun had set. And he took one of the stones of that place and laid under the tree. And he was journeying alone, and he slept. And he dreamt that night, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of Yahuwah ascended and descended on it. And behold, Yahuwah stood upon it. And he spake to Yaakov and said, "I am Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham, your father, and the Elohim of Yitzchak, the land whereon you are sleeping. To you will I give it, and to your seed after you. And your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall increase to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. And in you and in your seed shall all the families of the nations be blessed. And behold, I will be with you, and will guard you whithersoever you go, and I will bring you again into this land in peace. For I will not leave you until I do everything that I told you of." And Yaakov awoke from his sleep and said, "Truly this place is the house of Yahuwah, and I knew it not." And he was afraid and said, "Dreadful is this place, which is none other than the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of heaven." And Yaakov arose early in the morning and took the stone which he had put under his feet and set it up as a pillar for a sign, and he poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of that place Bet El, but the name of the place was Luz at the first. And Yaakov vowed a vow unto Yahuwah, saying, "If Yahuwah will be with me, and will guard me in this way that I go, and give me bread to eat, and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall Yahuwah be my Elohim. And this stone which I have set up as a pillar for a sign in this place shall be Yahuwah's house. And of all that you give me, I shall give the 10th to you, my Elohim." Yovelim, Jubilees 28. And he went on his journey and came to the land of the east, to Lavan, the brother of Rivkah. And he was with him, and served him for Rachel his daughter 1 week. And in the first year of the 3rd week he said unto him, "Give me my woman, for whom I have served you 7 years. And Lavan said unto Yaakov, "I will give you your woman." And Lavan made a feast, and took Leah his elder daughter, and gave her to Yaakov as a woman, and gave her Zilpah his handmaid for a handmaid. And Yaakov did not know, for he thought that she was Rachel. And he went in unto her, and behold, she was Leah. And Yaakov was angry with Lavan, and said unto him, "Why have you dealt thus with me? Did not I serve you for Rachel, and not for Leah? Why have you wronged me? Take your daughter, and I will go, for you have done evil to me." For Yaakov loved Rachel more than Leah, for Leah's eyes were weak, but her form was very handsome. But Rachel had beautiful eyes, and a beautiful and very handsome form. And Lavan said to Yaakov, "It is not so done in our country, to give the younger before the elder. And it is not right to do this, for thus it is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets, that no one should give his younger daughter before the elder, but the elder. One gives first, and after her the younger. And the man who does so, they set down guilt against him in heaven. And none is righteous that does this thing. For this deed is evil before Yahuwah. And command you the children of Yashara'el, that they do not this thing. Let them neither take nor give the younger, before they have given the elder, for it is very wicked." And Lavan said to Yaakov, "Let the 7 days of the feast of this one pass by, and I shall give you Rachel, that you may serve me another 7 years, that you may pasture my sheep, as you did in the former week." And on the day when the 7 days of the feast of Leah had passed, Lavan gave Rachel to Yaakov, that he might serve him another 7 years. And he gave to Rachel Bilhah, the sister of Zilpah, as a handmaid. And he served yet other 7 years for Rachel, for Leah had been given to him for nothing. And Yahuwah opened the womb of Leah, and she conceived and bore Yaakov a son. He called his name Reuven, on the 14th day of the 9th month, in the first year of the 3rd week. But the womb of Rachel was closed, for Yahweh saw that Leah was hated and Rachel loved. And again Yaakov went in unto Leah, and she conceived, and bore Yaakov a second son, and he called his name Shimon, on the 21st of the 10th month, and in the 3rd year of this week. And again Yaakov went in unto Leah, and she conceived, and bore him a third son, and he called his name Levi, in the new moon of the 1st month, in the 6th year of this week. And again Yaakov went in unto her, and she conceived, and bore him a 4th son. He called his name Yahudah, on the 15th of the 3rd month, in the 1st year of the 4th week. And on account of all this, Rachel envied Leah, for she did not bear. She said to Yaakov, "Give me children." And Yaakov said, "Have I withheld from you the fruits of your womb? Have I forsaken you?" And when Rachel saw that Leah had borne 4 sons to Yaakov, Reuven and Shimon and Levi and Yahudah, she said unto him, "Go in unto Bilhah my handmaid, and she will conceive, and bear a son unto me." And she gave him Bilhah her handmaid to be his woman, and he went in unto her. She conceived, bore him a son, and he called his name Dan, on the 9th of the 6th month, in the 6th year of the 3rd week. And Yaakov went in again unto Bilhah a second time, and she conceived, and bore Yaakov another son. And Rachel called his name Naphtali, on the 5th of the 7th month, in the 2nd year of the 4th week. And when Leah saw that she had become sterile and did not bear, she envied Rachel. She also gave her handmaid Zilpah to Yaakov, to be his woman. And she conceived and bore a son, and Leah called his name Gad, on the 12th of the 8th month, in the 3rd year of the 4th week. And he went in again unto her, and she conceived, and bore him a second son. And Leah called his name Asher, on the 2nd of the 11th month, in the 5th year of the 4th week. And Yaakov went in unto Leah, and she conceived, and bore a son. She called his name Yishakar, on the 4th of the 5th month, in the 4th year of the 4th week, and she gave him to a nurse. And Yaakov went in again unto her, and she conceived, and bore 2 children, a son and a daughter. And she called the name of the son Zebulun, and the name of the daughter Dinah, in the 7th of the 7th month, in the 6th year of the 4th week. And Yahuwah was gracious to Rachel, and opened her womb, and she conceived, and bore a son. And she called his name Yosef, on the new moon of the 4th month, in the 6th year, in this 4th week. And in the days when Yosef was born, Yaakov said to Laban, "Give me my women and sons, and let me go to my father Yitzchak, and let me make me a house. For I have completed the years in which I have served you for your 2 daughters, and I will go to the house of my father." And Laban said to Yaakov, "Tarry with me for your wages, and pasture my flocks for me again, and take your wages." They agreed with one another that he should give him as his wages those of the lambs and kids which were born black and spotted and white. These were to be his wages. And all the sheep brought forth spotted and speckled and black, variously marked. And they brought forth again lambs like themselves, and all that were spotted were Yaakov's, and those which were not were Laban's. And Yaakov's possessions multiplied exceedingly, and he possessed oxen and sheep and asses and camels and men servants and maid servants. And Laban and his sons envied Yaakov, and Laban took back his sheep from him, and he observed him with evil intent. Yovelim, Jubilees 29. And it came to pass, when Rachel had borne Yosef, that Laban went to shear his sheep, for they were distant from him a 3 days' journey. And Yaakov saw that Laban was going to shear his sheep, and Yaakov called Leah and Rachel, and spoke kindly unto them, that they should come with him to the land of Canaan. For he told them how he had seen everything in a dream, even all that he had spoken unto him, that he should return to his father's house. And they said, To every place whither you go, we will go with you. And Yaakov blessed the Elohim of Yitzchak his father, and the Elohim of Abraham his father's father. And he arose and mounted his women and his children, and took all his possessions, and crossed the river, and came to the land of Gilead. And Yaakov hid his intention from Laban, and told him not. And in the 7th year of the 4th week, Yaakov turned his face toward Gilead in the 1st month, on the 21st thereof. And Laban pursued after him, and overtook Yaakov in the mountain of Gilead in the 3rd month, on the 13th thereof. And Yahuwah did not suffer him to injure Yaakov, for he appeared to him in a dream by night. And Laban spoke to Yaakov. And on the 15th of those days, Yaakov made a feast for Laban, and for all who came with him. And Yaakov swore to Laban that day, and Laban also to Yaakov, that neither should cross the mountain of Gilead to the other with evil purpose. And he made there a heap for a witness, wherefore the name of that place is called the heap of witness, after this heap. But before they used to call on the land of Gilead the land of the Rephaim, for it was the land of the Rephaim, and the Rephaim were born there. Rephaim, whose height was 10, 9, 8, down to 7 cubits. And their habitation from the land of the children of Ammon to Mount Kerman, and the seats of their kingdom were Kiriataim, and Ashtaroth, and Edrei, and Misur, and Beon. And Yahuwah destroyed them because of the evil of their deeds, for they were very malignant, and the Amorim dwelt in their stead, wicked and sinful. And there is no people today which has wrought to the full all their sins, and they have no longer length of life on the earth. And Yaakov sent away Laban, and he departed into Aram Naharim, the land of the east. And Yaakov returned to the land of Gilead. And he passed over the Yabok in the 9th month, on the 11th thereof. And on that day Esau his brother came to him, and he was reconciled to him, and departed from him unto the land of Seir. But Yaakov dwelt in tents. And in the 5th year of the 5th week, in this Jubilee, he crossed the Yarden, and dwelt beyond the Yarden. And he pastured his sheep from the sea of the heap unto Beit Sha'an, and unto Dotan, and unto the forest of Ma'ali, Akrabim. And he sent to his father Yitzchak of all his substance, clothing and food and meat and drink and milk and butter and cheese and some dates of the valley. And to his mother Rivkah also 4 times a year, between the times of the months, between plowing and reaping, and between autumn and the rain season, and between winter and spring, to the tower of Avraham. For Yitzchak had returned from the well of the oath, and gone up to the tower of his father Avraham, and he dwelt there apart from his son Esau. For in the days when Yaakov went to Aram Naharaim, Esau took to himself a woman, Machpelah, the daughter of Yishmael. And he gathered together all the flocks of his father and his women, and went up and dwelt on Mount Seir, and left Yitzchak his father at the well of the oath alone. And Yitzchak went up from the well of the oath, and dwelt in the tower of Avram his father, on the mountains of Kevron. And thither Yaakov sent all that he did send to his father and his mother from time to time, all they needed. And they blessed Yaakov with all their heart and with all their soul. Yovelim, Jubilees 30. And in the first year of the 6th week, he went up to Shelem, to the east of Shechem, in peace, in the 4th month. And there they carried off Dinah, the daughter of Yaakov, into the house of Shechem, the son of Chamor, the Chivi, the prince of the land, and he lay with her and defiled her. And she was a little girl, a child of 12 years. And he besought his father and her brothers that she might be given to him to be his woman. And Yaakov and his sons were wroth because of the men of Shechem, for they had defiled Dinah, their sister. They spoke to them with evil intent, and dealt deceitfully with them, and beguiled them. And Shimon and Levi came unexpectedly to Shechem, and executed judgment on all the men of Shechem, and slew all the men whom they found in it, and left not a single one remaining in it. They slew all in torments, because they had dishonored their sister Dinah. And thus let it not again be done from henceforth, that a daughter of Yashara'el be defiled. For judgment is ordained in heaven against them, that they should destroy with the sword all the men of the Shikmim, because they had wrought shame in Yashara'el. And Yahuwah delivered them into the hands of the sons of Yaakov, that they might exterminate them with the sword and execute judgment upon them. And that it might not thus again be done in Yashara'el, that a virgin of Yashara'el should be defiled. And if there is any man who wishes in Yashara'el to give his daughter or his sister to any man who is of the seed of the other nations, he shall surely die. They shall stone him with stones, for he has wrought shame in Yashara'el. And they shall burn the woman with fire, because she has dishonored the name of the house of her father, and she shall be rooted out of Yashara'el. And let not a woman that breaks wedlock and no uncleanness be found in Yashara'el throughout all the days of the generations of the earth. For Yashara'el is holy unto Yahuwah, and every man who has defiled it shall surely die. They shall stone him with stones, for thus has it been ordained and written in the heavenly tablets regarding all the seed of Yashara'el. He who defiles it shall surely die, and he shall be stoned with stones. And to this Torah there is no limit of days, and no remission, nor any atonement. But the man who has defiled his daughter shall be rooted out in the midst of all Yashara'el, because he has given of his seed to Molech, and wrought impiously so as to defile it. And do you, Moshe, command the children of Yashara'el, and exhort them not to give their daughters to the other nations, and not to take for their sons any of the daughters of the other nations, for this is abominable before Yahuwah. For this reason I have written for you in the words of the Torah all the deeds of the Shikmim which they wrought against Dinah, and how the sons of Yaakov spoke, saying, we will not give our daughter to a man who is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. And it is a reproach to Yashara'el, to those who live, and to those that take the daughters of the other nations, for this is unclean and abominable to Yashara'el. And Yashara'el will not be free from this uncleanness if it has a woman of the daughters of the other nations, or has given any of its daughters to a man who is of any of the other nations. For there will be plague upon plague, and curse upon curse, and every judgment and plague and curse will come if he do this thing, or hide his eyes from those who commit uncleanness, or those who defile the sanctuary of Yahuwah, or those who profane his holy name. Then will the whole nation together be judged for all the uncleanness and profanation of this man. And there will be no respect of persons, and no consideration of persons, and no receiving at his hand of fruits, and offerings, and burnt offerings, and fat, nor the fragrance of sweet savor, so as to accept it. And so fare every man or woman in Yashara'el who defiles the sanctuary. For this reason I have commanded you, saying, testify this testimony to Yashara'el. See how the Shikmim fared, and their sons, how they were delivered into the hands of 2 sons of Yaakov, and they slew them under tortures. And it was reckoned unto them for righteousness, and it is written down to them for righteousness. And the seed of Levi was chosen for the priesthood, and to be Leviim, that they might minister before Yahuwah, as we continually, and that Levi and his sons may be blessed forever. For he was zealous to execute righteousness and judgment and vengeance on all those who arose against Yashara'el. And so they inscribe as a testimony in his favor on the heavenly tablets blessing and righteousness before the Elohim of all. And we remember the righteousness which the man fulfilled during his life at all periods of the year, until 1,000 generations they will record it, and it will come to him and to his descendants after him. And he has been recorded on the heavenly tablets as a friend and a righteous man. All this account I have written for you, and have commanded you to say to the children of Yashara'el that they should not commit sin, nor transgress the ordinances, nor break the covenant which has been ordained for them, but that they should fulfill it and be recorded as friends. But if they transgress and work uncleanness in every way, they will be recorded on the heavenly tablets as adversaries, and they will be destroyed out of the Sefer of life, and they will be recorded in the Sefer of those who will be destroyed, and with those who will be rooted out of the earth. And on the day when the sons of Yaakov slew Shechem a writing was recorded in their favor in heaven, that they had executed righteousness and uprightness and vengeance on the sinners. And it was written for a blessing. And they brought Dinah, their sister, out of the house of Shechem. And they took captive everything that was in Shechem, their sheep and their oxen and their asses and all their wealth and all their flocks, and brought them all to Yaakov their father. And he reproached them because they had put the city to the sword, for he feared those who dwelt in the land, the Kenaanim and the Perizim. And the dread of Yahuwah was upon all the cities which are around about Shechem. And they did not rise to pursue after the sons of Yaakov, for terror had fallen upon them.